There's a moment every man remembers. The instant you realize you've been moving toward her while she barely moves toward you. You initiate. You entertain. You follow her energy like a moth aimed at a porch light that isn't meant for you. And the more you do, the less she invests. It's not because you're not enough, it's because your frame, your focus, your very nervous system is trained to prove, to convince, to pursue. Tonight I'm going to break that pattern inside you. Not with cute lines, not with borrowed bravado. With the quiet, immovable center that makes a woman feel pulled, not pressured, toward you. The kind of center that makes her feel like chasing you is the only thing that makes sense, even when other men circle her like satellites desperate for a signal. What I'm about to give you isn't performance, it's presence. And once it clicks, you won't be chasing again. You'll be choosing. First, understand this truth. Desire responds to gravity, not noise. Most men try to be loud with compliments, loud with effort, loud with availability. But gravity is silent. Gravity is the field that forms around you when your attention is scarce, your time is clean, and your standards are non-negotiable. The moment you begin operating from gravity instead of noise, you flip the polarity. Women feel it without being able to name it. The way you hold your own gaze, the way you occupy a space without filling it with the clutter of explanations, the way your yes means yes and your no never drags an apology behind it. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end because we're just getting started. Let's cut to the core dynamic that decides who chases whom. Investment. Familiar words. Misunderstood mechanics. Investment begins long before she texts you back or touches your arm. It starts with your attention. That is your currency, your blood and breath. When you spill it carelessly, you signal to her nervous system that you are replaceable because you don't treat yourself as rare. Here is the first shift. Put your attention on your world before hers. Your mission, your training, your craft, your brothers, your mornings that start on your terms. When a woman meets a man who is already in motion towards something bigger than her validation, she feels the rare ache of wanting to be part of his orbit. If she senses you are waiting for a woman to rescue you from your own boredom, she feels the equally human urge to run. Picture the scene that scares most men. She's surrounded by male attention. A bar top glowing like honeyed glass. Two guys leaning too far in. One throwing punchline after punchline. The other nodding like he's trying to hypnotize her into yes. You arrive, not to compete, not to beg for a turn, but to claim the one thing they aren't even aware exists: the frame. Your frame is the invisible rule set that says, I am the standard. I respond to the world. I don't react to it. If I give you my attention, it's because I chose you out of many, not because I needed anyone. Frame makes you calm. Calm makes space. Space makes curiosity. Curiosity makes pursuit. When you speak, slow your cadence. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Most men fear silence. It exposes them. That's why you'll use it. Ask her a precise, honest question that requires more than a surface answer. Not, where are you from? But, what keeps you awake because you care about it more than the average person tolerates? The question forces her out of the social mask. You're not trying to impress, you're assessing. When she answers, you'll do what few men can. Hold eye contact without trying to own or force the moment, and listen for the emotion layered under the words. Then reflect it back with clarity in one sentence. So you hate wasted potential, especially your own. In that line, she feels seen, properly, cleanly, without performance. That's the beginning of chase. Now, the tactics. They mean nothing without the state. But with the state, they cut like glass. First, pre-selection without peacocking. The female brain is exquisitely tuned for social proof, but it rejects theatrics. You don't announce that women like you. You live a life that suggests women respect your presence. You are the man who greets the hostess by name because you go to the same places consistently and you treat staff like allies, not servants. You're the man who maintains warm, low-stakes conversations with women in your network without turning them into leverage. You're seen lightly touching hello, laughing in a way that signals, we've met before, we're good, not I'm collecting validation. It's a subtle ecosystem. It tells her, if I want this man, I will not be alone in wanting him. And that very thought, when paired with your grounded non-reactivity, becomes desire's oxygen. Second, selective warmth. Modern men confuse kindness with collapse. You will be warm because you choose to be, not because you're afraid to disappoint. The technique is simple. Mirror the temperature she sets, but lead it 1 degree higher. If she's cool and guarded, you meet her at neutral and then warm slightly with your energy, not your availability. This looks like curiosity without need. You have a strong filter, I like that. What do most people get wrong about you? If she's playful, you escalate to lightly competitive. You're charming, dangerous combination. If I'm not careful, I might enjoy this. Your tone is relaxed, as if you're commenting on the weather of the interaction. Observant, amused, fully aware that you are in control of your own state. Third, qualification. If you want her chasing, she must feel the sweet friction of earning your attention. You don't test to belittle. You test to discover whether she can coexist with your standards. Try this sequence. You connect. You appreciate something specific, a decision she made, a conviction she holds. You clearly state a preference, and you watch her response. I like that you left a stable job to build your own thing. I'm drawn to decisive people. I don't spend time with complainers. How do you keep yourself honest when you hit a wall? Notice the form: appreciation, standard, curiosity. If she gets defensive or tries to turn you into a clown with sarcasm, you smile and withdraw the slightest bit of energy, not a sulk, a recentering. She'll feel the drop and lean in to repair the connection, if she's truly interested. That lean is her investment, her chase. Fourth, scarcity of contact, not scarcity of feeling. The common mistake is to become cold. That breeds anxiety, not chase. The skill is to be vivid when you're present and gone when you're gone. When you leave the interaction, leave a clear imprint. I've enjoyed this. I'm not free this week, I protect my training days, but Thursday after 7 I'm open to good conversation. If you've got the same energy, then text me something specific you want to debate. That's a time boundary, a lifestyle boundary, and a hook that invites her to show substance. When she reaches out, you're prompt without being tethered. You reply with clarity, not endless back and forth. Logistics quickly, then back to your life. The rhythm teaches her nervous system that contact with you is a reward for leaning in, not a default candy dispenser. Fifth, body language that makes pursuit effortless. Your posture is not just straight, it's relaxed weight through your heels, shoulder blades slightly back, chin parallel, breathing low in the belly. Your hands are still, unless you're emphasizing a point. You don't sip nervously, you place your glass down with intention. You turn your torso with economy. You expand on exhale, speak on exhale, and you let your voice live a half step lower than you're used to. Not cartoonishly deep, centered. She will feel it. Humans are tuning forks. Your frequency teaches hers how to respond. When other men crowd, you don't compress. You take half a step back to create a pocket of space and invite her into it with your eyes. If she comes, it's her move. If she stays, you only move when it suits you. That ability to create a bubble where she can enter, on her choice, makes the entrance feel like her idea. That's chase. Sixth, the arc of tension. Most men either sprint or stall. You will master the middle path. Progressive polarity. Start with a small push-pull. Offer genuine appreciation, then add playful pressure. You're surprisingly direct. I'm into that. But if you're this direct all the time, you must scare average men. Watch her smile. There's pride there. Then withdraw slightly. Take a sip, glance briefly to acknowledge the room, return to her with soft eye contact, raise the stakes. Tell me one thing you're proud of that nobody claps for. The question lifts her out of superficial display. If she gives you depth, reward it with a story from your life that reveals your priorities, not your pain. I'm proud that I choose early mornings and cold showers when no one's watching. I'm boring from the outside. I like it that way. That combination, her revealed, you revealed on your terms, creates an intimacy most men never touch. Intimacy plus restraint equals pursuit. Seventh, boundaries that bite and heal. You will make it easy for her to respect you. That requires saying no, not with anger, with ease. If she flakes, you don't punish, you calibrate. All good, my time's tight. If you want to reschedule, propose a day that works for you and commit to it. If she gets drunk and chaotic, you call her a car and end the night. You're fun. Tonight's not the night. Text me when you're clear. Your consistency creates a container where she can relax because you'll protect the connection from nonsense. Paradoxically, many women crave this. It's not control, it's leadership of your own life that bleeds into the dynamic. Leadership without force is irresistible. Eighth, the paradox of attention. See her and see through her. You will give her the gift most men never offer. Deep seeing, not of her looks, of her patterns. But you'll also see through the beautiful camouflage that attractive people wear. When she tries to distract with performative stories, you smile. You do that thing where you toss a firework and see who chases the spark. I don't. But I like that you test for attention. You're probably bored by men who agree with you. She'll laugh because you named the game without judging it. She will share more honestly because truth is oxygen, and you just opened a window. Ninth, the law of exit. Remember this always. The power of your presence comes from your willingness to leave. You do not threaten to go. You just go when the energy falls below your standard. You do it kindly and clearly. I'm going to say hi to my friend. Good meeting you. If we continue this, let's do it when we both have focus. Then you actually leave. No peeking back for reassurance. That single behavior separates you from 98% of men. It signals abundance, self-respect, and a nervous system that doesn't need to be bottle-fed with attention. She feels the loss of your gravity and often comes to reclaim it. If there's alignment. Now men ask, what if she's with another man? Hear me precisely. You never interfere with a committed relationship. You never weaponize jealousy or engineer betrayal. That's weak energy, and it boomerangs. But if she's surrounded by male attention or casually dating without exclusivity, your job is not to attack the crowd, it's to out-presence it. Imagine she's on a date at a lounge, postures stiff, laughter a touch too sharp. You happen to know the owner. You greet him, greet the staff, and your social calibration sends a message. You belong here. When your eyes meet hers, hold for a beat. If she gives you more than a glance, if she double takes, if her posture shifts toward you, you simply nod with a half smile and continue your conversation with your friend. If she later finds a moment to break from the table, you respect the context. Good to see you. You have strong energy, nice taste in places. No secret invitations, no covert manipulation. You're a gentleman with backbone. This preserves your integrity and paradoxically makes you unforgettable. She'll choose what to do with that memory. Let's add precision to your verbal game. Words are tools, timing is art. Replace weak fillers with declaratives. Instead of, I guess we could hang out sometime, use Thursday 8 works. If it doesn't for you, suggest another. I don't do maybe. Replace self-deprecating humor with self-possessed play. Instead of, I'm terrible at this, use I'm very good at being direct. You either like that or you don't. Replace interrogations with invitations. Join me for a walk after coffee, 10 minutes. If we're bored, we part ways. Each line carries certainty without pressure. Certainty calms. Calm invites her to lean in. Now the mindset drills that forge this energy until it lives in your bones. Morning practice. Before you touch your phone, stand for 2 minutes of stillness. Feet hip width, knees soft, tailbone heavy, crown lifting, shoulders back, breath low. Inhale 4 counts through the nose, hold 2, exhale 6, hold 2. Repeat until the urge to fidget dissolves. This is you rehearsing non-reactivity. Next, write 3 commitments for the day. 1 physical, training, 1 creative, building, 1 relational, reaching out to a brother you respect. When you hit all 3, you end the day with proof you are a man who executes. That proof is fuel for your presence. Women smell it. Social muscle drill. In any room you enter, make 3 micro-connections before you speak to the woman you want. Compliment the bartender on their speed. Ask the DJ what track they're proud they added to the set. Thank the server who's moving the fastest. Keep it genuine, brief, felt. Your nervous system adapts. By the time you approach her, you're not a stranger trying to intrude. You're woven into the fabric of the room. That social weaving is a lubricant for attraction, and the men who don't do it feel like static. Eye contact drill. Practice the 3-beat gaze. When she speaks, hold her left eye for 1 beat, right eye for 1, then mouth for 1, then back to eyes. It's subtle, not robotic. It communicates that you are listening to words and signals. Pair that with micro smiles. Lift only 1 corner of your mouth when you're amused. It reads as mischievous confidence, not needy approval. If this is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. Texting structure distilled to essentials. Stage 1. Spark. After a strong in-person moment, send one line that references the energy, not the logistics. You've got a stubborn fire. Rare. If she engages, stage 2. Invite. Tuesday 7 espresso and a walk. You'll leave energized or annoyed. Both are honest outcomes. If she deflects with banter but avoids committing, stage 3. Limit. I like fun messages. I prefer real time. If not this week, no worries, let's skip the pen pal thing. Then silence. Either she steps up or she filters herself out. Both are wins. Scarcity teaches respect faster than paragraphs ever will. On the date, the rule is motion. Sitting face to face across a table locks you into interview energy. You want dynamic stages: stand, walk, sit. Change environments lightly. A short stroll before drinks. A corner booth instead of a spotlight table. A moment where you show her a view, a detail of the city that you genuinely enjoy. You're not performing tour guide, you're inviting her into the world you already love. In conversation, oscillate between playful and precise. Give her 70% presence. Keep 30% for scanning the room, your breath, your posture. That slight holdback creates tension. She knows you're with her, but she also senses that part of you belongs to your mission. Women chase what they can feel but can't possess. Touch, the clean way. You calibrate by reading reciprocity. If she leans in when you speak, if her knee brushes yours and doesn't move, if she mirrors your posture, you can initiate a light, deliberate touch. Touch her elbow to guide her through a door, your palm steady and brief. A playful high five that lingers a fraction of a second. A touch to the small of her back while crossing a street. Protective, not possessive. If she stiffens or moves away, you reduce touch to 0 without commentary. Respect for boundaries amplifies attraction. Ignoring them kills it. Jealousy is cheap fuel, don't use it. Intrigue is the premium grade. Create it by being specific in your life. Wednesday night is non-negotiable. Jiu-jitsu. Sunday mornings, no phone. I read and write. I host a small dinner once a month, 4 people max, deep conversation. Specificity is sexy because it signals identity. Identity sparks curiosity. Curiosity pulls her toward you because she wants to experience your flavor of life. And if she's dating others, this stands out. The men competing with you are offering attention. You're offering an atmosphere. What about when she tests you? She will. A woman worth your time will see whether your frame holds when teased, delayed, or challenged. If she pokes, you think highly of yourself, don't you? You smile with your eyes. I think accurately of myself. You should try it. Delivered warmly, it's a reframe and an invitation. If she's late, you begin without her. Order a drink or a coffee, read a page of your book, greet someone. When she arrives, you don't recap the wait. You resume the plan. If she tries to drag you into drama about other men, you refuse the triangle. I don't do comparisons. Either this is interesting or it's not. I'm happy either way. The moment you sidestep those hooks, you become the rare man she cannot destabilize. That mystery causes pursuit, not because you play games, but because you don't play hers. Inner work, confrontation with your hunger. Every man who chases is run by a hidden hunger to be chosen. The only cure is to choose yourself so completely that a woman's choosing becomes dessert, not dinner. To achieve this, you'll keep a ledger of integrity. Every night, write 2 columns. Kept and leaked. Kept. Moments you stayed aligned. Work finished. Boundaries held. Training done. Lies avoided. Leaked. Moments you sought cheap dopamine. Scrolling fantasy over texting, agreeing when you wanted to decline. Then you repair one leak the next day. This is not punishment. It's engineering. Attraction amplifies what you are. Build something worth amplifying. Let's talk about charm without chameleoning. You will not contort yourself to match her. You'll bridge to her world while standing in your. If she loves art, you ask what provokes her, not what she owns. If she's into travel, you ask what she was seeking that her hometown couldn't give. If she's ambitious, you ask whom she's loyal to when success costs her comfort. The theme is constant. You aim for values, not hobbies. Values are oxygen, and when you speak to them, the air gets thinner in the best way. She has to inhale deeper around you. That physiological shift is why her mind later invents reasons to see you again. She'll call it chemistry. You'll know it's clarity. Do not explain your standards, demonstrate them. If she pushes for late-night plans you don't do, you smile. I wake early. Coffee tomorrow, 10. If she cancels twice, you release the connection. Timing's off. Wishing you well. If she returns weeks later, you assess anew. Never from resentment, always from abundance. Your time is your temple. Guard it with warmth and iron. Men forget the seduction of delight. Be the man who delights in the simple and the exact. Order the dish you genuinely think is the best, not the one you think impresses her. Tell the story that matters, not the one that makes you look larger. Laugh at what's truly funny to you, not what's fashionable. Authentic delight is a radar ping women detect instantly. It signals you are a man who feels deeply without losing himself. That is a paradox most men never master. It makes her want to find the edges of your experience with you. Sometimes the chase begins after you've already stepped away. Don't yank the line. If the energy stalls, you reduce output to zero. You don't watch her stories. You don't like her posts. You don't orbit passively. Ghosting is immature. Orbiting is worse. You simply live. If she's meant to return, she will. And when she does, you treat the return like any other new moment. Curiosity, clarity, boundaries. If you're no longer available, you say so. Clean breaks grow men. Messy entanglements grow resentment. If you know a brother who needs to hear this, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Now, the advanced move. Leading with invitation, not expectation. When you invite her into your world, you give her a glimpse of a future. A hike at sunrise where the city still sleeps, words condensing in cold air. A hidden jazz spot where the trumpet opens your chest with the first blue note. A bookstore where you hand her a dog-eared copy of the book that kept you company when no one could. You create specific memories early. Not expensive, not lavish, specific. Specific is unforgettable. Unforgettable is irresistible. Irresistible invites pursuit. Let's address rejection. It's not personal. It's data. If she isn't available, assume she's telling you the truth even if she doesn't know it consciously. Your response is simple. I hear you. If life shifts, you know where to find me. Then you disappear like a gentleman. You don't hover to be chosen later. You choose. That quiet dignity haunts, in the best sense of the word, the memory of who you were in her life. You become the counterexample to every man who begged for a chance he hadn't earned. Remember this when you feel the urge to prove. Attraction is not an argument you win. It's a feeling she can't ignore. You don't build that feeling by pushing. You build it by vibrating at a frequency that her nervous system recognizes as leadership, safety, and challenge in one. Leadership, because you have direction. Safety, because you control yourself. Challenge, because you won't collapse to please. When those three meet, she chases. Not because you manipulated her, because you activated something inside her that was waiting for a worthy signal. If what I'm saying is landing, stay with me until the end. This next part locks it in. The end game is not her attention, it's your sovereignty. Sovereignty is the state where you're no longer negotiating with yourself. You know what you stand for, what you won't tolerate, what you're building, and who gets access. From that state, you can give freely because you're not giving to be refilled, you're already full. That's the magnetism you've seen in the rare few. They radiate enoughness. You can cultivate it. You cultivate it by doing hard things daily, by telling the truth even when it costs, by learning to be alone without going numb, by keeping your body as a loyal ally, not a neglected tool, by maintaining a band of brothers who call you out and call you up, by choosing women who choose you, fully, and walking away from those who want the idea of you more than the reality. When you meet her, the one who feels like lightning in slow motion, you'll still use everything we've covered, but not to capture, to calibrate. You'll stay slow when your heartbeat tries to sprint. You'll keep humor close when your ego wants to flex. You'll let her invest. You'll let the tension breathe. You'll let the night end before the magic is exhausted, because you understand the art of leaving a little undone. That's the hook that pulls her forward. That's the taste that lingers. That's the reason she wakes up wondering, what is it about him? And she reaches out first. Close your eyes for a moment and feel this. You walk into a room with posture like a promise you'll keep. Your attention is a laser, not a floodlight. You speak when you choose, Silence padding your words with gravity. You assess, you qualify, you invite, you exit clean. Other men whirl. You don't whirl. You decide. And because you decide, the world rearranges. Women sense it. Their bodies lean. Their voices soften. Their eyes sharpen. They chase, not because you withheld affection, not because you played a brittle game, but because you've become the man whose presence writes a story they want to live inside. That is the point, not conquest. Choice. So here is your charge. For the next 7 days, become a scientist of your own presence. Measure your leaks. Close them. Practice the stillness drill every morning. Make 3 micro-connections before you approach the woman you desire. Ask one question that pierces the mask. Offer one clean boundary that protects your time. Leave one interaction earlier than you'd like while the energy is still rising. Then watch what happens. Watch how life starts to chase you back. Watch how the woman who has options stumbles for half a second when you meet her eye. Watch how she returns to find you because you never left yourself. If what you've heard today shifted something in you, subscribe now so you don't lose this thread. If you felt called out or called up, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one because this is a conversation among men who are done chasing. And if there's a brother in your life who needs to remember who he is, send this to him today, not tomorrow, today. Because the moment you decide to become gravity, the game ends, and life, women included, begins to move toward you.